Hi, welcome to another video. Today's video is about week 2 of The Artist's Way. Week 2, recovering a sense of identity. This week is about our identity in figuring out what we want to be. So, Miss Julia mentions that this week may feel erratic and strange because we're trying to recover, so anything related to this book will feel crazy, but that's how it's supposed to be, apparently. She mentions that we may feel a lot of self-doubt. She says that these attacks are normal and to see them as signs of recovery. So things like, oh, I did this week's morning pages and I feel a lot better these days, but that might just be a coincidence. I'll probably give up soon. Or things like, oh, I probably did it wrong. These are attacks of self-doubt. And we can't let these self-doubts turn into self-sabotage, gang. We need to use our affirmations to beat it. We gotta stay strong. So instead of thinking, I'll probably give up, we'll change it to, I won't give up on myself. Anyways, I chose this specific example because it's something I've been thinking of this past week. I realize that I'm currently the type of person who gives up quickly, especially at the first sign of hardship. It does make me a bit embarrassed to admit this, but I need to admit things like this so I don't just keep cowering in fear like a little baby. I want to be someone who can struggle through the hard stuff. I want to be someone who's persistent. So this week my affirmation was, I will not give up on myself. External barriers to recovery. The next part of this week's discussion is poisonous playmates and crazy makers. As the protective parent of our inner artist, we need to make sure that we're playing with friends who aren't toxic. We need to make sure that our inner child feels secure and safe. And to do that, we can't be listening to our mutual's well-meaning doubts right now. So here's a line from the book that I think is really important. Often, creativity is blocked by our falling in with other people's plans for us. If we're busy with listening to other people, when will we ever get time to focus on ourselves? When will we ever begin building a healthy relationship with ourselves and our art? Never, right? So for now, if you're doing this alongside me, keep your recovery close to your heart and don't let anyone discourage you. I'll be here to support you, and so will the others in the comments. Let's be pleasant playmates instead of poisonous ones. See what I did there? Crazy makers are people who take over your life. They're dramatic, charismatic, and, for artists like us, extremely destructive. They're people who demand your attention and expect special treatment. Miss Julia gives an example of an acquaintance she knows. So her acquaintance's mother is what Miss Julia calls a crazy maker. She would say things like, oh, do you know what the neighbors were saying about you? To her daughter who was preparing for exams. And then that poor daughter had to listen to all sorts of gossip that left her battered and bruised. And this made her think, what's the point? When she was trying to do her exams. Crazy makers can be anyone, like a needy friend, a terrible boss, or even your spouse. Crazy makers violate your needs. They don't care about your deadlines or your work. They pretend to care about your boundaries, but ultimately they infringe on your time. They say this will only take a minute, but it's your minute. They pit you against others so they can thrive on the negative energy it generates. Like, so-and-so told me you didn't get to work on time. You get angry at the person who said you didn't get there on time instead of getting angry at the crazy maker who used gossip to ruin your mood. You don't even know if this other person even said that. Yeah, crazy makers are also really good at blaming others. Nothing is ever their fault. Well, all this to say, if you know someone like this, please be mindful. Like, please be careful. I'm lucky enough not to know anybody like this, but if you're stuck with a crazy maker, please find a way to make time for yourself. I really hope that you can, because you deserve to be happy. Internal barriers to recovery. Skepticism. Well, we all have doubts, I certainly do, but Miss Julia says to air out these feelings of doubt so we don't end up self-sabotaging. Some of my doubts, honestly, most of them started as soon as I read the book. And I don't know, a lot of weird coincidences have been happening, and I've been using them as a source of my doubts. Ever since I started this YouTube channel, I've noticed that I've been a lot happier, and I'm looking forward to my future more often than not. But like, I don't know, is that just a coincidence? Maybe. I also came across some videos about how to color grade your videos to make them look better, and I am pretty excited to try out those tips in this video. I want to see how it looks. That was weird. Like, why did it come up now? That's strange. That's coincidence, right? And then I saw these like sketchbook videos and artists preaching to let go of perfectionism and to just draw with pens and highlighters. I've been secretly wanting to finish a sketchbook, and I've always been kind of jealous of artists who are able to do those, like even those messy ones. Like, I don't care if sketches from other artists are messy or they're clean. That doesn't matter to me. But when I try to do it, I don't know why, I just get scared. But then I came across these videos and I suddenly realized, like, it doesn't matter. I can just draw whatever the hell I want. And then I saw a lot of posts being like, you should just do what you want. Life is short. It's like, oh my god. It's also May now, and I wanted to draw mermaids in May. Even if it's only one. All these coincidences aren't just coincidences, according to Miss Julia. She calls it synchronicity. The universe is listening to what I want, and it's giving me opportunities. But I'm scared. I haven't made a YouTube video in like 3 weeks because I'm scared of the success it may bring. But like I said before, I am not going to give up on myself, which is why I am recording this right now. And if the universe is giving me opportunities, I should be taking them, right? Oh my god, what the hell? In the exact now, we are all always alright. I just need to pay attention to the little things and enjoy them. This would probably help my fear and anxiety go away. So, yeah. I won't give up on myself. Okay, so what's up with this week's activities? So, where does my time go? On my computer. I'm always on my computer, to be honest. I do art, I write some stuff on my comic, make YouTube videos, I do a lot of editing these days. Also play video games. Yeah, I mean, I don't play them as much as I used to, but I still do play. I spend time with family, I wash dishes, I guess. And sometimes I spend like 3 hours scrolling on Instagram or TikTok because I get hooked like a little monkey. I downloaded this app called Screen Zen, and honestly, it's actually been working. So Screen Zen, it does a pop-up before you go onto whatever apps you set it up for. So I set it up for Instagram and TikTok, and it comes up with a pop-up that asks like, is this important? And it makes you wait like 10 seconds, and then it lets you into the app. And then there's like, you can set up how long the timer is. Mine's for 7 minutes, so I can only scroll for 7 minutes before it locks me out. And then after I get locked out, like, you can choose to keep going, but it makes you wait a little bit extra. So yeah. I usually end up leaving because I'm like, wait, why am I on Instagram right now? And then I go back to work. So it's good. Honestly, if you need some help with your screen time, maybe Screen Zen is your answer. So the next activity is called The Circle. Woo, spooky. Okay, it's not scary, but it is crazy. Very crazy. Oh my god. So you draw a circle, and inside the circle, you put names of people who support you and encourage you. And outside the circle, you pretty much put everyone else. It's people you need to be self-protective about. So I did this, and for some reason it was a very confronting activity for me. I cried the whole time while discussing it in my journal, like who to put in there and who not to put. I don't know why I'm feeling emotional right now, but so I did this activity on a Tuesday, and by Friday I needed it. Like, girl, what the hell? What? That's insane. Is that a coincidence? Mrs. Julia would say it's synchronicity, but whatever. It was just so insane. It was insane. Right. So what happened was I somehow got into a conversation about my future again. If you haven't picked this up, I hate talking about like getting a job because it always makes me feel like a failure, and I don't like feeling it. So when I get dragged into conversations about my future, when I went home I used to cry. Well, I guess I'm crying now, but anyway, the person I was talking to, they were trying to help me. Okay, they were trying to give me advice on like how to get a job. They were saying they're like, oh, I should do this and that, and it would look good on my resume. And as they were talking, I suddenly realized, I was like, oh, I need to put you outside the circle. Like, I know that just sounds so dumb and crazy, but as soon as I did that, suddenly what they were saying didn't really matter. Like, I was like, oh, I'll just let them talk, but I don't have to listen to it because they're outside the circle. Like, oh my god. If I didn't do this activity earlier in that week, I probably would have gone home crying like I did last time. This time I didn't, because I realized that like I don't need to listen to people who, well, like I don't need to listen to anyone in general, because everybody else is outside the circle unless I put them in there. So like, I don't know, it was suddenly so freeing, you know. I didn't have to feel like a failure and like I've been doing nothing all day and then I'm a lazy butt, like because it's not like I'm doing nothing. I started a YouTube channel. I draw art almost every day, and you know, I do a lot of stuff for my comic and I'm doing stuff. So like, usually when these conversations happen, it feels like the other person is judging me because, first of all, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had a real job ever. And second, like, now that I've started this, I don't really plan on getting a normal job anyway. And you know, like, feeling them judging me like that, I don't like it. Well, anyway, I don't need to do what anyone else says. Yeah, unless it's for my art or something, like I don't need to listen. And that is a very freeing thought. And I know that obviously these people who are talking to me, they care about me. Their worries and their advice comes from a good place because they just want the best for me. But I don't need it. I don't need it right now. So anyway, that's why they're all outside the circle and not in there. Yeah. This is all very crazy because, you know, I grew up in a culture that really cares about what other people say. We always seem to be performing, not acting like ourselves because we're scared of what that auntie or our cousin will say about us. We seem to put a lot of priority on our reputation because the world will end if someone disapproves of us. This activity made me realize that I need to be mindful of how others' comments affect me and to judge the advice's worth based on whether it supports me or not. Anyway, moving on. The next activity was to list 20 things that we like doing and to date the last time we did it. So here's my list. I did not realize that I haven't made a cheesecake since last year, like 2024. What the hell? I did take a break from baking because, well, I got tired of it. But I didn't mean to take a whole year's break. I enjoy baking. I enjoy baking when it goes well. When it goes bad, it's like really a character building moment, that's for sure. Anyway, this list is supposed to be a resource for Artist Day, and we were also tasked to do 2 out of the 20. So I have been on Pinterest since then, and I've also opened a few lucky boxes. I was introduced to Peach Riot this year. Yes, I am now a gambler. Thank you to my best friend and my cousin. I'll show you the ones that I have. This is the first one I ever opened. I got Frankie, the Diva Frankie. And this is when my gambling addiction started. I really like the thrill of opening the box. I don't even care what I get, to be honest. I just like opening the box. I like opening packages. It's like I want to know what's in there. But then once I know, it's like I don't really care. I just I'm so glad I don't gamble with like money in a casino, because I would be unstoppable. I would lose all my money. Oh my god. And then I got these little poppy ones. I saw on the box and I really like this one. Oh yeah, my hand's green because I was drawing in my sketchbook with markers and it got all on my hand. Anyway, I got this poppy. She's like a goth one, and I really like this one. This is the one I actually wanted, so that was a win for me. So this poppy, I went with my friend and we both like picked some boxes, and she ended up getting a duplicate. So she's like, you can have it. I was like, yes, thank you. So this is mine now. Yay. So this one I got because I swapped with my cousin. I got a Frankie with the guitar keyboard thing, and she had a Gigi and I didn't have a Gigi at the time. So I was like, let's swap. And she was like, yes. So this is mine now. Yippee! Since the Peach Riot, I also found a new one. Isn't she so cute? She's a little flower one. And this series is like a bunch of different flower designs. I got this one from EB Games actually. I didn't know that EB Games sells like Pop Mart stuff now, so it's good for my gambling addiction, but very bad for my wallet. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I like getting little trinkets now. It is what it is. So the next activity was to make a list of imaginary lives. So if I had a different life, like what would I be? And this week I added a baker, dancer, crocheter, and hiker. And also someone who like does puzzles and stuff. I don't know what they call it. Puzzler? This kind of sounds like Rizzler. That sounds kind of stupid. But I did download a watercolor sorting game where there's like different vials, and then you just organize them into separate colors. So I guess I am living the puzzler life. So the next activity is life pie. So this is the life pie that I made. Oh my god, I'm literally a workaholic. Oops. To be honest, as soon as I realized this, I didn't want to work anymore. So like the week after, I just played Fields of Mystery all week. Oh my god. But also like I went on a trip to Fiji for a week after that, so I was like, might as well start my holiday early. Yeah. I went because it's my grandpa's 80th birthday, so yeah, time to celebrate. So the last one was to do 10 tiny changes. So you list 10 changes you'd like to make, and these are my ones. And then you select one and do it. So that week I did get a Peach Riot, so I am a winner. So it's the check-in. How many morning pages did I do? Well, I did 5 again. Maybe next week I'll do 7 days. Guess we'll see. Did I do an artist date this week? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while since week 2, so I don't remember. And if I don't remember, I probably didn't. I probably found some excuse not to leave the house, so oh well. Were there any other issues related to recovery? No. All of my growth was related to the book, so Well, anyway, thanks for watching. I wonder how different I'll be by the end of this course. Or maybe I'll be the same. Who knows? Are you going to do any of these activities? You should. You should try one. See how it goes. Maybe you'll discover new facts about yourself. Ooh. And if you like this video, like and sub. Really appreciate it. I wish the best for you, and I'll see you in another video. See ya!